Well, hello everybody. We're back. We're finally back. It's been a minute since we've been here, and we welcome you. Man, we're gonna get a logo. We're working on a lot of stuff. I finally have my voice back after 2 months of battling, and Scotty's not been on the road for. We've had a rough go. I noticed I was setting this thing up, dude, and all of a sudden the next thing I see is you know, it's been since Halloween since you and I actually did a show together. So that's maybe a little bit too long of a time there. So it's good to be back. What have you been? How are you feeling first and foremost?
Hey, it's been so long there.
Oh,
Should I come over here so I can show you still got the Christmas tree up?
yeah. I mean, you got one.
Oh,
How many
no.
are up?
One,
Two? Oh, what in there's
two.
two.
Two. Okay.
Five,
All right.
five down to two. We're five down to two. So that's we're making move. No, I feel good. I feel good. We got one more game, big game before the All-Star break. I think the league. I've watched a number of games lately. I don't think the Nuggets are the only one kind of in a man. Let's hurry up and get this break going. It used to be. It's funny because I used to always say after the All-Star game, the All-Star game, which is the unofficial half of the season, because it used to be around game 43, 45, somewhere in there. I mean, now they're going into game 55.
Right.
And I've talked about it, and everybody tends to forget about it, but I said, listen, the dog days of the NBA season start somewhere around, 40, 45 to 65. So they're dead in the middle of it. Everybody's dead in the middle of it. And to me, it seems like that's been a little bit of the Nuggets' issue.
Well, I'm trying to figure out my lighting's terrible. We'll get this all right for next time, but we're gonna start doing this again. Look, man, they looked a little. I don't know. I don't know, Scott. It's been a weird year. Been a weird year. You guys have been flying all over the place, and nobody ever wants to hear it. But I still can't understand. I said it to Nate today. I don't understand why you guys, in the last week, if you think about it, what week, 10 days, 8 days, you played Oklahoma City at home. You went to Detroit. You then flew to New York in back-to-back nights for some dumb reason. Then you fly back to Chicago, which again, if you're already in Detroit, why are you not just going to Chicago from there before you go to New York? But that don't make no sense. Then you finally come back, and now you're playing in Denver again. And this has just been what? That's 5 games in 7 or 8 nights, 8 nights, I guess.
Yeah, NBA, in their infinite wisdom, says, everybody was complaining about the 4 games of 5 nights. We're stopping that. The Nuggets this year have already had 3 and 4, backing it up with the 3 and 4. So if you look at that 3 and 4 and 3, no, we don't have a 4 and 5. We've got a 6 and 8. That's better.
No.
6 games and 8 nights is better than 4 games and 5 nights. But they don't care about the quality of play. The NFL doesn't care about the quality of play. So we'll let you play in London on Sunday and home on Thursday. They don't care. It's about shoving games in, getting them done, get the season over with, bank your money, and you're all good. But yeah, they struggled. They've had a lot of people hurt. I think they're getting closer. They're going to be okay. There was times, even in that game the other night that they gave away to Cleveland, there was times you went, whoa, boy, this is pretty good. And you still don't have, one of your core guys in Gordon, which, he's going to end up missing 50 games this year at least, right? If not more. So I think that's big. I know when they had everybody, 10 games, they were 8-2. And one game they lost in overtime by 7. The other game they lost by 2 or 3 in Portland. Other than that, the start is pretty good. So be nice if you can get back to that, but health is never a guaranteed thing, right?
No, it isn't. And I mean, Gordon's the one I'm mainly worried about, to be quite honest with you. He's the one that I'm most worried about. He's the guy that I'm worried that you may not have healthy all year, because what concerns me is, this is the thing that it feels like this is the thing that plagued him. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. This is the thing that plagued him at the end of last year and kept him out of that last game. And then, they gave him 6 weeks, 8 weeks off, whatever it was. And he came back and got 5 games in. Now he pulls it again. They're talking another 6 to 8 weeks. And So I don't know. We'll just see. I'm just worried that, it's a chronic deal for him. I don't know what else to call it, man. Don't like it.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. It was a calf that went into a hamstring last year in the playoffs. Um, we'll see. The hamstrings are funky, especially when you get into your 30s, right? That's when it becomes you start worrying about a chronic thing. But they got to make sure he's right with that because I think they can win the whole thing with him, but I'm not sure they can without him.
No, but not Oklahoma City. I mean, to me, from what I saw, they got to have him for OKC in my mind, but maybe I'm wrong. Um, I don't know. You know what? I think you kind of talked about it, I think, a little bit. Look at what happened in Detroit. Kind of an old school fight, a little bit. Not as old school as when you guys all just had Donnie Brooks and you were choking out Charles Barkley or whatever was going on there. But guys are tired. Guys are frustrated. I think the whole NBA is showing that this schedule's grinding them. So whatever.
Well,
What do you make of the
they,
clutch moments? What do you make it? You told me something interesting today. I don't know. I'm sure you probably said it on your show, but you told me flat out you're not overly worried about this team at the end of games when it comes to execution and whatnot.
no, I think they'll figure it out. That here's another thing with the break is you'll end up getting 1 or 2 days of practice, and they haven't had an actual day of practice in
weeks.
2 months, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, somewhere in there. And all they're doing, I was talking to somebody wrote me. Well, I was talking with Sean Keeler. Keeler wrote me, wanted me to do some with an article. I was babysitting my grandson today, so I couldn't really pick up the phone and talk. I'm holding a 2-month-old in my hands. But he said he mentioned a late game, and I said, well, listen, they've been killing everybody with it for about 4 years. Hey, 2, and if you go back to Cleveland game, all they're doing is they're jumping Murray, so they're selling out to stop those 2 guys. So they're jumping Murray, double teaming Murray, and they're rotating the Joker right away. If you wait, which if you remember, that's what Denver used to love to do, is wait till late in the clock, run that 2-man game, get a shot, take about 22 seconds off the clock, get a shot, and it's usually a good shot. You're screwed. You lose time on the clock. You lose a basket that they score. Now, if you do that by jamming hard, double teaming the ball, now Murray gets, he had a turnover late, the big turnover because he was just too small in that group, tried to hook pass out of it and turned it over. But now you get those 2 guys out here, that's taking time away. Now you run a Joker right away, and you're pushing him out the free throw line above with a body on him trying to catch it under pressure. And if you've waited till 6-7 seconds on the shot clock, guess what? All you're going to get is the sophomore shuffle, some sort of funky thing, or hope you get fouled. So they'll have to look at that and figure out if I got a double on the ball, a guy flashing the Joker right away, the guy in the opposite wing, whoever's man left to go automatically take Joker, has got to fly straight to the free throw line, catch you, turn to the basket, and it's a 3-on-2. And all they'll have to do is have some sort of success where, somebody in the corner makes a shot. Listen, they had 2 or 3 shots last game that if they make, I think Strother had 2. I think Cam Johnson had 1. You make 1 of those 3, 2 of those 3, it's a whole different ball game. And also now you're questioning, do I really want to sell out to stop Gore or stop Joker and Murray if all of a sudden I've got a dude in the corner knocking a 3 down? But they didn't make the shots. It embodies and emboldens the defense, and I think teams are going to do that. Teams are going to make other people besides Murray and Joker beat you.
Well, hopefully someone's going to be up for it. We got a couple questions coming in, but Matt asks, do you think the Nuggets, they need to get some, not asking, but says they need to get physical? You guys got kind of a surprising answer out of David Adelman today on your show. PhD noon to 3, where he said, hey, we're in contract talks with him, but not quite the rubber stamp I guess we all thought it'd be. What do you think happens with Spencer Jones?
Well, I think they'll end up getting it done. Somebody signed a 2-way today. And I don't remember who it was or what, but it was some guy got their contract converted, and it turned into a 2-year $3.6 million guaranteed contract. You know, some teams thinking, here's what we'll do. We'll pay you for 25 games, NBA salary, woohoo, which is better than G League salary, but, you know, it's nothing. And then, you know, we'll go back to next year. Maybe we'll give you one more year or be team option or whatever. And listen, this is the only time he's got a little leverage. You know, I'm sure his people said, no, that's a nice start. We'll take a 3-year deal, guarantee all 3 years. And we'll take, you know, a league minimum with 5% bumps every year. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe they do something like that. Now you start talking about money and money going up. Now you got to talk about salary cap, first tier, second tier, all that crap that they just got under. Now all of a sudden all this stuff starts coming back in play, and especially if you're trying to add another buyout player. So no hurry. You got 9 days after tomorrow, right, to get it done. But I think they could have used him in against Cleveland. And you're right. And whoever asked that question is right. Denver's not a super physical team. And when you take Gordon out, when you had Christian Brown out, when you have now Spencer Jones, who developed that guy out, who's your – and, you know, Joker's Joker, let's be honest. But who's your physical presence in there? Don't really have one.
Right.
I mean, they're playing Joker with 4 guards in that New York game.
Well, I like a lot of what Val has done, but Val sometimes get in foul trouble real easily too, which is kind of surprised me. All right. Well, look, we'll wait and see what happens. We're going to hit a few topics. We're going to get this sucker up and going. Hopefully everybody will start joining us. We'll get it in on the regular again. I heard an interesting promo. First off, you ended up going to a birthday party over the Super Bowl, right? Is that what it was? You had a birthday party?
No, we had one Saturday.
Oh, okay.
No, we did. Yeah, we did.
Say Saturday you were in Chicago calling a game.
Sunday we had the soccer game, and then we went over to my daughter's house. It was her birthday. Stood over there for a couple hours, and then came home and watched the game.
You've watched a lot of Super Bowls. You've called a lot of Super Bowls. Look, I'm all for some defensive football, man. That was one of those I'm getting paid to finish this game right now kind of games in a while. I don't feel like we've had one of those in a minute.
Well, as I've gotten older, I have turned into the fan. Forget my job description and having to do talk radio, which you're obligated to watch stuff like that. If my teams ain't in it, the final game, I could care less. I could care less about the game. The 2 teams I may hate the most, even more than the Raiders. Like I've lost my Raider hater because they're so insignificant, right? But the next 2 would be New England and Seattle. And maybe Seattle from Super Bowl 48, New England just because, right? Because of all the dominance. But I had zero interest. If a game I would have almost hoped I would have been perfect for the for putting those 2 teams in there. If that thing could have gone 0-0 into overtime and somebody had to kick a field goal to win it, I'd almost appreciate it because I can't stand either one of those teams. So I watched the whole thing, and it was boring. Drake May looked absolutely horrible. And then you hear afterwards that he took a shot in his passing arm to be able to even play. That's good. It wasn't like Sam Darnold was great. He had a good 4th quarter. But, I mean, he was scattered around a little bit early in that game, too. It just there was no interest in that game for me. I had to, after a while, who I started cheering for a little bit was Walker. I was upset when he ran that big 50-yarder for a touchdown and they called back for holding. Because you know what? That was like real football. That was like a guy waiting on the hole. Remind me of Terrell Davis, waiting on the hole. Bam, go. Here's 10 yards. Bam, here it goes. Here's 13 yards. Bam, here's 6 yards. And that's the only part of the game I actually appreciated.
Yeah, I don't know. Did we learn sports needs a villain? I mean, we all complain. I'm sick of watching the Chiefs. I'm sick of watching the Patriots. I'm sick of say, but there was just nothing. I'm trying to think the last time we had that sort of blah Super Bowl. Just even from storylines. And I
I
don't think.
went
Look,
back. I went back today before we did our show, and I went back when I was taking care of my grandson and my daughter. She got all the cut the cable TV stuff, right? And so I guess she had Peacock. He had Peacock on, and I already knew the outcome of Sweden. Was it Sweden and America, USA for the
in the
gold medal
curling.
in pairs curling. That pairs curling match was more intriguing than that freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
More intriguing than that entire Super Bowl. And I don't even know all the rules. I don't even know all the things. I just learned this is a stone, this is a house. That's about it. I don't know half the stuff to do it. Curl means you're trying to put a curve on the ball. And sweep. That game, watching that gold medal game was more intriguing to me than watching the entire Super Bowl.
Well, I
And I'm
mean,
gonna say
again,
that
when
on
you
my
don't have a
radio
villain,
show.
and I don't,
I'm going to challenge anybody to disagree with me.
I was watching some of the curling. I when I saw it, Sweden went up 2-1. Then I had to come to try to figure out what we were doing down here and get back into the accounts and all. For a minute, you and I didn't think we were going to make it on here because we had to relog into so many things, and that.
Hey, USA was up 5-4 going into the very last round, set 8, whatever they call them. And the last one of the game, the girl plopped somebody out, knocked them out, ended up getting 2 points to win it. In the last stone got a 2-pointer to win it 6-5. That's intriguing, right? After a while, you're going, well, I remember playing bumper pool, and you try to knock this one over this way, and maybe your thing stays over here. You put this. Anyway, I'm so glad the NFL's over. I am so done with their season right now. I'm good. Now, part of this might be my grumpy self having to travel with the Nuggets and everything, but you know what? I want to watch Olympic hockey the next 2 weeks. I want to watch. Heck, I'm intrigued in the women. How about USA women kicking Canada's butt 5-0?
Yeah, that was surprising. I thought that'd be a tighter game.
I'm going to watch all that. I'm going to watch the Avs and Nuggets get back. If you don't talk to me about football till next September, I'll be absolutely happy.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
Well, I know that ain't gonna happen. We got mock drafts to be around the corner, and then the combines after that, and then more mock drafts, and then the draft, and then OTAs, and then
So you are excited for the hockey? Because, I mean, it's already been a weird winter game. I felt bad for Lindsey Vaughn. It's crazy to see how she caught that gate that caused that crazy wipeout of hers. And it was funny because I started reading the comments from some of the other skiers, and they were talking about how that turn that she got caught on.
right.
You got to take it, you got to push it, you got to take it tight like she did, because
But she hooked her arm in it, didn't she?
yeah, but they were saying that that's the last hill where you really catapult yourself down with your speed. Like if you don't get speed on that turn she wiped out on, you're not going to have enough speed to even compete for one of those top spots. So it was nuts. But I don't know, man. It was interesting. Part of me, I will say this. Part of me felt like when she announced she was going, I was like, are we sure there's not a healthier body that could go? But I was talking to Nate about it in a break, and Nate said he was watching all the pre-race hype, which I had other stuff going on that day. I didn't see it. He said everything on NBC was about her. So it sounds like I got a feeling NBC really wanted her to go get that thing done for the TV coverage.
Well, it was a story. That it's funny. The other American girl won the gold medal, right?
Right. Breezy. And then
Breezy,
the gold medal broke. Did you see that? A bunch of these medals are breaking. They're having trouble with them.
That. What, tell me, I haven't seen it, but I've heard about that.
Yeah. Apparently they're snapping off the ribbon, and a couple have cracked. So now they got to figure out what's going on with these things. This Italy game, like I think of Italy of, the home of the Colosseum and art and fine food and all this stuff. and it seems like they've had a lot of trouble trying to get these darn games up and going.
Although it looks more wintry than it did in Sochi and Russia, handful of Olympics ago, they got some weather and snowstorms at least.
No, I'm with you, but I mean, I'm just telling you, they couldn't get this hockey arena done. We'll have to see. It's not Olympic size ice, by the way. So
Well,
we'll see how this goes.
You know what? That was a big story about a month out. And then I don't know if it was the Olympic Committee or whoever. Boy, they put a kibosh on people talking about that, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, because, there's still politics in the Olympics. You and I know that. There's politics and everything. So, I don't know. I'll watch the hockey. I'm just holding my breath that the Avs get out of this unscathed, man. Because, again, goes back to the Nuggets conversation. I get worried that we may not see a healthy team. How many teams have you and I covered that we thought would be good no matter what the sport that just were never healthy? Matter of fact, I'll point out an Avs team. Remember when they got Timu Solani and Paul Kariya and nobody could stay healthy? We thought that was going to be the super combo to go with Forsberg and Sakic and all those guys. None of those dudes could stay healthy.
Do you remember that summer when they started making those moves and how this town went on fire?
Oh, it was incredible because I thought we were going to watch an all-star team.
Yep.
Hey, what hat is that? Is that the pumpkin hat there?
Ask Lindsey Vaughn. Health's a big thing, right?
You got the pumpkin hat there? What are you wearing? Yeah. I got a sweet one I'm busting out this week. The winter rose. I'll wear it maybe tomorrow or Thursday. You're gone Thursday. You're gone tomorrow.
No, I'm in studio tomorrow though. Bring it tomorrow.
And then you're going down to the game. And then what? What does the All-Star break mean for one Scott Hastings?
I'd like to say I'm sleeping in for about 3 days straight, but I'm getting on a flight to Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas, actually. I'm going to fly to Kansas City, staying with my daughter Thursday afternoon, evening, Friday after school. The warden and Ellie will fly into Kansas City. We're going to watch my granddaughters have a basketball game Saturday morning. And we're going to watch the little first grade and kindergarten basketball game. And then we're going to get in our vehicles there and drive down to see my dad down in Oklahoma. And they're going to drive back to Kansas City on Monday, and I'm going to fly out of Tulsa on Tuesday.
La-dee-da.
Yeah. So I'll be in Kansas City. I'll be in Leavenworth, Kansas City, and little bitty town in Oklahoma. Grove, Oklahoma.
Grove. All right.
Grove, Oklahoma.
John wants to know why you still got the tree up. That's your tradition.
Yeah. It's a tradition because I live with a hoarder and she ain't got no room to put it.
Well.
I mean, can you understand that at all, Andy?
Yeah. Yeah. See yonder right in there? Right
Room?
there.
Yeah.
That room?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where this podcast should be being done.
That's your extra bedroom, your office supposed to be, right?
Could be the podcast room, the speed bag room, the heavy bag room. Now I got balloons going off. Could be all that, but no.
Could be the Gazelle room.
Gazelle's gone away.
Really?
The Gazelle, maybe I get the Gazelle out one time just for you. I could podcast on the Gazelle.
I think you got to do a podcast one night doing the Gazelle.
Just prop the mic up, do the Gazelle.
Yeah. Do the Tony Little, maybe get you a fake ponytail and everything else and just go for it.
Is there any way to make the Gazelle hot?
No.
Girls on trampolines can be attractive. I don't think the Gazelle has that effect.
Flashback, go back to the 80s and wear spandex tights and a ponytail and you might be able to do it.
Me? Not me.
Well, didn't everybody used to think Tony Little was hot in his spandex jumpsuit?
I don't know. Was he? You're going to have to help me out with that.
And big muscles and a ponytail.
You know what? The Godfather was on tonight. There's been a bunch of good 80s movies on. That's the only good thing about the sports slowing down is there's some good 80s movies on.
Have you gotten into anything else? Have you like? I'm trying to start Stranger Things. I'm in episode 3, season 2, and I'll say this: it's okay. It's
Yeah,
it's okay.
season three
I
is
don't
where I
understand.
think season three is good.
I don't understand the like everybody's like flipping going crazy over it. Though. I mean, it's okay.
You know what, Scotty? It was fun nostalgia for a bit, and then they took too long to finish the thing. I've told Stranger Things the fifth season sucks. You don't even need to really watch it. Every episode's too long. They introduce new characters you don't give a damn about. You know, are you watching any of the Rise of the 49ers or anything?
No, what's that?
It's on AMC, just talking about the 80s 49ers. Like, I got a kick out of the Elway doc. What'd you think of the Elway doc, by the way?
That's pretty good. I liked it. I liked it all right.
Yeah. It was interesting to see him post life, and I would have liked to hear more about the GM tenure and all that.
Well, I thought they put about 12 years or 12 hours of information in 3 hours.
Sure.
Like, I think that could have been a 3-part series, and you probably would have been okay.
Would it be fun? Could they ever do a good one on Mutombo, the Denver years?
No.
No?
Because he became more worldly and more world known after his time in Denver. He became beloved in Denver, but he really became an international name in Atlanta and Houston.
Do we have another guy that would be worth doing one of those on?
Well, Joker might seem like that.
Yeah, ultimately Joker. You're right, but you think Joker would allow it though?
Well, listen, you ain't good. I mean, John Elway's 65, so when are you going to wait? And Mutombo's dead, so I mean, are you going to do this thing while a guy's 30? No, Joker ain't going to let you do it while he's 30 and he's still playing. But you get him at 55 or something and go, hey, blah blah blah. He might be willing to sit around and do something. Here's a no dumb question for you. Nikola Jokic, when he gets done, let's hope it's another 6 years, right? At least, whatever. 2 more championships. Do you think he lives here, or do you think he goes back to Serbia to raise his family?
I honestly don't know. I mean, the money would tell you Serbia, but I feel like more and more he's kind of becoming American, whether he likes it or not.
Well, I will say this.
But you're around him more than I am.
I think the longer you can hang him around and get his kids in school here and get friends and playmates and blah blah blah, the harder it is for them to leave, right? Because he dotes on them kids, especially that daughter. And all of a sudden you're going to tell a 30-year-old, oh, by the way, we're now moving back to Serbia, and you never see your friends again. And I don't know. I don't think he's the kind of guy that really wants to break his daughter's heart so he can be around horse tracks.
Scotty, let's be honest about it too. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where he'd get more privacy. He's the biggest thing going in Serbia, so.
Well, he's big there too. But I mean, everything eventually dies down. I think it eventually died down there. But the point being, if you thought he would live in Serbia after retired, and then they're going to do a documentary like they did on Elway. Joker's 62. Do you think he speaks any English again by then?
No, you're probably right. That's why I'm just trying to figure it out. Like would Shanahan be a good story? The Shanahan run, what'd be interesting is the palace intrigue of the Bolins, I guess, but probably just make those of us that grew up in Denver during the time more sad than anything. I don't know, man. Kind of crazy. Landeskog might be interesting, especially with this comeback of the knee, but now you've got this long period between, him playing and all that. Yeah, I don't know.
And before they took the break, did Landeskog come back? Was he back playing? So he's going to miss 2 or 3 weeks of playing, and now he's the captain of the Swedish team, and he's going to play in the Olympics?
That's how much it means, I guess.
Wow. You got an issue with that?
Yeah, I've said it forever. Yes. Because it's yes. Look, my issue, and I don't know, I'll probably make you hate me too, but the bottom line is, I just, the international play, and look, it's different cultures. The international play has not been as big. It was a bigger deal to me when our kids are out there and they're the underdogs and they were fighting, no matter what it was. Okay. when there was the college kids and the amateurs. It just was what it was. Now, listen, I enjoyed the hell out of the dream team. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the hell out of the dream team. I enjoyed the hell out of whooping everyone's ass and whatever we were trying to do. But I think it's had its time. And I think, and look, this is selfish, but the Avs are in a window. They're in a damn window right now, and that window's closing every year. And we've only gotten one cup out of the thing. And I'd rather none of them were playing in the Olympics. It's just me.
And isn't it funny? We talked a little bit about it on our show. Isn't it funny? Their little kind of slide and play coincided with Landeskog going out.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, his presence in the room to chill everybody out, I think, is very important. But don't forget, Devon Toews was out too. I think two guys that are kind of the two guys that try to, I think McKinnon needs to be leveled off. I mean, McKinnon is not even trying to hide that he's probably not a good time to be around in the midst of the hockey season, right?
Right.
And look, what's funny? We got to talk to Eric Johnson beginning of the year, and I asked Eric about Gabe, and Eric flat out said Gabe's balance to that room is incredibly important. So there's no doubt about it. They need Gabe back there. But look, I've also said that, I think the goaltending played out of its mind, and I don't think we recognize that. Quite honestly, Scotty, here's what I've noticed from the Avs and the Nuggets. Here's my big takeaway before the break. Nikola Jokic has come back, and he's not all the way Nikola Jokic before the injury guy yet, and hopefully he's that when he gets back from the All-Star break, right? But he just doesn't look like – he looks to me, at least some of the games that I've watched, he's looked to me like the guy that's had the injury for the first time. There was one time where it really stood out to me where there was a crowd in the lane. Somebody almost stepped on his leg, and you could just see him like, instead of looking at the basket, he was more worried about, don't catch that leg. You know what I mean? Something I don't think he would have worried about before because he never really had the injury. He had to worry about it. And then, so we don't have Joker covering up some of the sins that he used to at the end of games because he's not quite himself yet. I'm sure he'll get back there, but not there yet. It's understandable. And I don't think the Avs goaltending has been, listen, mainly Wedgwood, but also Blackwood there for a minute. Those guys were out of their damn mind. They were literally playing, Vezina quality goaltending. And it hasn't been that the last 3 weeks. And now you're seeing that, yeah, there's a bunch of defensive. Again, this team was not thought to be this wagon we kept talking about when they first got the season going. Everybody said after their initial moves in free agency, there's got to be something else coming. But I think the goaltending, and Wedgwood in particular, made some out-of-his-mind saves. And between watching enough hockey and my experience with lacrosse, here's what I know. Goaltenders don't normally stay in that zone an entire year. I almost wish I hope Wedgwood could get back in that zone for like the April in the playoffs. But there's goaltenders, even Patrick Waugh in his best stretches couldn't hold the kind of fucking, the level that Wedgwood was playing at was unreal.
Well, here's the funny thing. When they got shunned to make the Olympic team, everybody was in a tizzy because they were two of your best goalers, especially Wedgwood was one of your best goalers in all of hockey, the way he was playing. And, the coach takes his guy, Billington, right? Didn't Billington go?
Yeah.
Who the saves and win percentage, Wedgwood was killing it. It seems like since Gabe's got hurt, and I agree, Taves being hurt matters too. He's not as flashy as McCarr, but I think you missed him on that back end. But I think with Landeskog getting hurt, the leadership in the locker room, and then it seems like ever since he got shunned as far as goaltending, all of a sudden they've been a little bit more leaky than they were before that. So
and remember, Wedgwood's had an injury.
But were they playing to get picked by the hockey team? And then
maybe.
Then they just got a little, what else can I do?
I also think, but you got to remember, I get a little worried. Wedgwood's had a little something going on with his back, and so's Blackwood. They both got these little injuries that you don't need. We just talked about it to half the podcast. Health is not guaranteed, man. So hopefully you can get back to it. And I still think you're going to need to make a trade before the deadline. I think come the deadline, they're going to be back to looking to adding some size, and, we'll see where it gets them, man. Look, I think they're good enough to win it all. But again, The power play's got to get going. You cannot have a power play that's powerless, and that's what they have right now. And because again, that's one of the things that bit them against Dallas. And you and I both know in the playoffs, when you've got a power play and you don't score, it kills your momentum. Kills your momentum, and you cannot have it. It's got to be better.
Listen,
you know what else has had a weird year is Nichushkin.
When they were rolling,
like Nichushkin's just kind of been fine.
But when they were rolling, they were winning. They were winning games, but they weren't losing games. Right? If they lost, it was always in a shootout or overtime. Their power play was horrible. We looked it up on the show early in the season. At one time, they were like three of 34.
Yeah, it's been brutal.
Play. And everybody's like, calm down. You know, McKinnon had his little blowout, or McCarr won the two. Oh, I guess you guys really don't know what hockey.
That's like. McKinnon. I guess fans don't understand what we're doing out there.
And that's when I went and looked. Dog, you're 3 and 31 or 27, whatever it was. You're 3 and 27. What are you talking about? And as well as they played, how many of the games don't even go to shootout if you're good on your power play? They've got another. I honestly feel if they had a legit power play this year, they'd have another 10 points. Oh,
it's ridiculous. They would be. They're already. Look, I know they're doing good. And Rob says, "Do we always do a late night show, guys?" We're trying to get back to this, guys. I had real struggles with my voice. I've been on the GLP-1 shot. I do think there's some stuff going on with that's been causing some of my problems since I got on the full dose. I've been losing the weight, which is cool, but haven't had voice struggles like this in a long time, and even a little of it's jumping up on me today. But so yes, Rob, we're going to try to get back to it either Monday or Wednesdays around 9 o'clock, or not Monday, Tuesday or Wednesdays, and we're going to do it. But Scotty's had a bear of his schedule, and I haven't had a voice, and it's been a rough 2.5 months.
Your son had all them play practices he was going to.
Yeah, my son had a play practice. He had a play that I needed to go to. He does a concert, But anyway, yes, Rob, stay with us. We will. We're going to try to get this thing up and rolling like we had it before. Yeah, I don't know. Look, man, the power play's got to get going, and we'll see. We'll see. I know this. Avs and Nuggets, with this core that they both have, both minimum need one more championship. Period. So, and so that's why, to answer your original question, I don't love that they're playing in the Olympics. I really don't. You know,
I don't like. I've resigned the fact, and you're right. Europe looks at the international competition a lot different than America. But let's be honest, we're all selfish here. we don't care.
Well, we got our own teams in our own cities.
Yeah, and the country's too big, and whatever. There's too many sports, and there's some are hockey fans and some are not. I'm sure if the NFL ever got worldwide, and there was quality teams in other places, the NFL might even stop to have a World Cup of football, maybe. I don't know. But so I really can't appreciate wanting to play for your country. I really do. But if you're not going to play in the job that's paying you a lot of money and the job that paid you a lot of money while you were hurt, and now you're going to miss 2 weeks here, but you're going to go back there and be playing?
I know.
That right there gets me a little iffy on that.
Well, I think if you're an Avs season ticket holder, it even can be a little bit frustrating, frankly, because you're paying money to hopefully watch a cup winning team. So we'll see. And again, I just think we all know better now, because how many years it take the Avs? 15, 20 years between cores that are good enough to be this fun. There's a lot of bad years and bad hockey. So,
right.
And I want to take advantage of what they have, because we know it's not going to last for. Look, sooner or later, I know we all don't want to believe it. Sooner or later, Nathan McKinnon and Nikola Jokic are not going to come back and be the same dominant players that they've been. Sooner or later, they're going to have a season where they're not better than they were the season before.
Right.
So, and then you may not have another of either one of them, quite honestly.
Then what? Right.
Yeah. Then it's back to George Karl years, I guess. All right, my
friend.
Easier
to find a Nathan McKinnon or a Nikola Jokic?
What's that?
Easier to find a Nathan McKinnon or Nikola Jokic?
Boy, I mean, that's a great question. And look, if you want to go off Gabe's answer after the Cup in 22, they said, what's the key to this thing? Gabe said, you got to find yourself a Cale Makar.
Well, then use
Um,
Kel McCarr. That's fine. Use Kel McCarr. Easier to find a Kel McCarr or a Nikola Jokic.
well, I look, Nikola Jokic, I don't think you're finding another Nikola Jokic. They're trying to create more Nikola Jokic's, but I don't think you're going to find it because, again, the guy's mind is just that beautiful, you know? And I'm not trying to slight Nate or Kale. They're both amazing. But we're seeing, I mean, what about the kid in San Jose? What about Connor Bedard? Like, there's a ton of amazing young players that are just ready to show up and play right away. Now, will they have the competitive fire and the drive that Nate and Kale have? I don't know. But I'm just
See,
telling you.
if I were to answer my own question, I would say it'll be easier to find a McKinnon than a McCarr.
Yeah, I would agree because there's a lot of forwards like that, you know.
But there ain't a whole lot of defensemen that can do what he does back there like he does it. So I think it'd be easier McCarr.
Look, but I don't think you're finding another Joker ever.
Yeah, I don't either.
Joker's a goat, man.
Listen,
Joker.
The best player you ever saw play for the Nuggets before Joker.
Well, I mean, maybe Mello. Look, I don't, you know, I loved Antonio McDyess. I got a bunch of guys Mutombo was fun, but he was not. He was kind of a one-trick pony in a way. I love LaFonso Ellis. You know, I probably didn't appreciate Carmelo Anthony enough. You got to remember, I'm not old enough for the David Thompson days, and I don't remember most of the 80s Nuggets, quite honestly. Your group is more the group that I remembered in high school, right?
Well, I was going to put my answer for you is going to be Alex English.
Okay.
Alex English is your best player after Nikola Jokic ever. First one in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he led the entire 1980s in scoring in the NBA. And that's a year with Bird, Magic.
No, you're right. Sweet shot.
Jordan
Sweetness.
came in late, you know. But that being said, guess what? Denver's never found another Alex English. I mean, you know, sitting there, we're going to try to find a Nikola Jokic. Denver's never found an Alex English. Denver's never found a Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
No, you're right.
So, you know, the ones that kind of set themselves apart, I'll ask you this. In their prime, you taking McKinnon or Sakic?
Well, that's a great question. Sakic's shot was sick and unstoppable, and Sakic was the captain.
And he was the leader.
And he was the leader.
See, I'm with you. So maybe we got to look at the Avs. You aren't ever going to find another McCarr. Are you ever going to find another Joe Sakic? You know, McKinnon might be.
You never found another Waugh, by the way. You never found another Manning. Hell, you never found another Elway. You won another Super Bowl, but Manning and Elway were not the same quarterback. No. They're very different quarterbacks.
Yep. That's good. You've never
found another Atwater.
You've never found another Adam Foote.
You never found another Terrell Davis.
Never found another Terrell Davis.
Frankly, you've never found another Shannon Sharp.
You ain't found another Shannon Sharp. No.
And you ain't going to find another DT. And I know people get mad about the drops and this and that, but trust me, man, DT was something different, dude.
Well, listen, Floyd Little, you'd say, well, have you ever found another Floyd Little? But then you go, well, I don't think he was as fast, but Terrell Davis kind of makes you forget.
Well, Scotty, all you got to do is watch some of the Super Bowl highlights.
Joe Sakic. As good as Nathan McKinnon is, you ain't forgetting Joe Sakic.
No. You ain't finding another Peter Forsberg, frankly. Like you said, not another Foot. Not another Milan Hajduk, really.
Not another Mike Ricci.
Well, see, that's the problem.
Hey,
you
but hold on.
Another Mike Ricci, but you haven't had another Mike Ricci. That's the issue.
Yeah, so I have to say, would you like to have another Mike Ricci?
Hell yeah, this team could use another Mike Ricci.
Some toothless
or a Mike Keane.
Some toothless wonder that sits in front of the net and just bothers the hell out of the goaltender all game.
And loves it. Loves the contact. Is here for the noise. You know, that's part of the reason why the power play sucks. I don't think they have guys that take the goalie's eyes away enough. They're too busy trying to get the perfect tic-tac-toe pass while the other team just plants somebody in front of your netminder, takes his eyes away, and pops in goals.
I'm going to throw a name at you. One to Nav. But didn't Dino Cicerelli play like that all the time?
Yes.
Too? Wasn't he
Pissed
always
people off. All he did was
wasn't
be a little gnat in front of the net and bother everybody. Lekkonen's got a little bit of that in him, but
I will say this: I do like me some Lekkonen.
yeah, because he's scrappy. He's a lunch pail guy. But you need a few more lunch pail guys on this team.
Well, they got time.
You know, I hope. Trying to think. See, now you kind of got it having fun. All the guys you had, but the point is, folks, appreciate it.
Oh yeah, well, you appreciate greatness. You know, listen, we're getting old. And we're made. Listen, I'm not on my lawn, get off my lawn guy yet because Kel McCarr and Nathan McKinnon are freaking fabulous.
I mean, they're fantastic guys, but
absolutely fabulous.
But it goes back to the point of why I wish you weren't risking your health in the Olympics.
We got to watch Joe Sakic in his prime. We got to watch Peter Forsberg in his prime. If Forsberg doesn't get hurt, doesn't have the foot thing, Forsberg may go down as the greatest ab that's ever been. Right? I mean, that's that cat was. Hey, I got to throw out something I read today. And it kind of blew me away. And I didn't know if it was true, but then I've seen it now in multiple sources. Okay? Most popular sport in America is most watched game every year in American sports is what? We just had it last.
The Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Worldwide, did you know worldwide, 225 million people watched the Super Bowl this year. It was down a little bit, actually. Last year was the all-time record. It's down a little bit. But 225 million. That a lot?
Yeah.
This past weekend, there was a huge game in the Premier and Champions League, and it sets up the Carabao Cup finals between Manchester City, Man City, and Liverpool. Do you know? And that was a match on Saturday because I was busting, or Sunday, it was Sunday, and I was busting Dempsey's big Liverpool fan, so I was busting his chops on Monday because Liverpool got beat. Do you know how many people worldwide watched Liverpool play Man City?
500 million.
750 million people.
Yeah. It's a pretty popular sport, I'd say.
Oh, what the? How have you done a Premier or a Champion League a segment on your radio show ever?
No. But we could. Nate could do it. But I don't. But again, you want to know why? Hey, you want to know why it's so popular? You don't have to have 12 streaming services to try to figure out where the hell it is and watch the game.
I don't know. Hey, NBC Peacock or NBC CBS have moved over and starting to do a bunch of shows over there now.
On Peacock?
I think on Peacock you can watch Premier League.
No, I know it was a joke. My point is, do you think in the Sudan they're worried about which Yahoo or whatever?
No,
I mean, come on.
But isn't that a crazy number? Like I thought for sure for one game, the Super Bowl beat everything in the world. I now call me an ugly American in my own little bubble. I thought, the Super Bowl just dominated for one game, and this was just a big game. This wasn't even like the
championship.
This wasn't a cup final or a Champions League final or a Premier set. It wasn't even one of those. It was a big game that was going to, send Man City won, so they're going to the Carabao. I think it's the Carabao Cup finals against Arsenal. 750 freaking million people. Come on, man.
How much a commercial costs in that thing?
What have we missed? What have we missed in America not having soccer all these years?
I don't know. It just wasn't what we grew up playing. I grew up playing football and basketball, man. That's what I did.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I needed a ball. I didn't need 20 people. You could do a one-on-one game of basketball. We could play catch in the street. with the football.
They do that with the soccer ball everywhere in the world too.
They didn't have John Elway.
No, they had Pele.
Well,
they had Messi.
Listen, is your daughter's participation in soccer changing your opinion?
I have watched more professional soccer in the last month. I follow on Instagram about 4 different sites. If anybody comments that they do it too, they've got this one soccer show, the soccer show I watch all the time, and then this one podcast. It's like NBA Today, but for soccer. I mean, they're laughing, they're doing innuendo, they're making funny jokes, they're busting each other's balls, and I'm like, well, this is NBA Today, but they're doing it with soccer. Then there's this one podcast I went, which most of them are old Man United players, and they're like so pissed off that Arsenal's doing good this year, and they're just bitter, like a bunch of bitter old men, but they're funny as hell. Do you ever watch Ted Lasso?
I don't.
You really need to, because it really is a good show. It's not about soccer. Soccer's just in it. But one of the main characters' name on there is a guy named Roy Kent. He's this grumpy, old, dirty, mean player, good player, but he was mean and he was a gruff leader, blah, blah, blah. Well, he was patterned after a real soccer player named Roy Keane.
Well, there you go.
And Roy Keane does that podcast that I follow on Instagram. And he's hilarious. And I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm 65, and I'm like, dude, I've wasted a whole bunch of years. I could have been watching something cool, I think.
Maybe.
Listen, a 2-1 game between Man City and Liverpool probably more exciting than a 9-0 after 3 quarters NFL Super Bowl.
Yeah, but see, look, you've changed. You've changed. A, you got a kid playing soccer that gets you into it. But B, you've got hate in your heart for the NFL, and that's okay. You've developed.
I don't have hate. Well,
yes, you do.
I don't have hate.
Yes, you do.
I don't have hate.
Yes, you do.
No.
You're a hate-filled donut.
It's forced hate. Because I'm a Bronco fan now.
But you got hate in your heart for the NFL. You've had enough.
I have had enough.
You just got done saying you're glad the season's over.
Aren't you?
I'm glad that damn game's over, yeah.
Listen, would you like to play another 6 games without Bo Nix and
No.
have Jared Stinkham as your quarterback for the next 6 weeks?
No, I don't want to. I'm done. Look, all due respect to Stiddy, I don't even want him on the team next year after that. You are what you are, dude.
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna change. You know what I mean? So.
And God bless him. I mean, he was put in a tough position. But I mean, if that were week 10, and you're sitting there at 8 wins, and you got 7 left, you going to win enough to get to the playoffs with Stidham?
I don't think so. Now, again, to be fair, here's a comment that they're coming fast and furious. He says if Stiddy would play 6 games, he would be better, and there's no doubt he would fall in. He would probably see things better and whatever. But dude, every time we watch Stidham, it's the same thing that plagues him. Little too far, little too high, little too behind. He's not accurate. His head does not move at the speed of that damn game, dude. So,
yeah.
Look, all of us, everybody I talk to, you know what's funny about Bo? Now, Bo's got to quit being a stinky quarterback in the second or the third quarter or whatever it is. But there's not a person I haven't talked to that thinks if that game would have been close to the fourth quarter and Bo was in the Super Bowl, he would have found a way to win that sucker.
You know what? I think if Bo's playing and the game played out like it did, I think they'll win that game in the fourth quarter. If it's 10-7 going into the fourth quarter, I think Broncos win that thing with Bo.
But they needed Bo. Now, hold on now. They needed Bo and Dobbins, not just Bo.
Well, that helps. Dobbins would have helped Stidham too.
Well, yeah, because we saw what a patient runner did against New England, and that's what Dobbins was.
Yeah. Hey, hold on a second. My dog's got to pee.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here, let's wrap it up.
Well, hold on. I'm going to take the dog. Talk amongst yourself.
Scott is hanging out there. You can see right there. He's got his pictures. It's a lovely house. That's a new piece of furniture that he bought just a couple years ago when we used to do this podcast together in the same room. And now, not so much. Although, I don't know. Maybe we'll get funky one night and I'll drive over there and we'll get in the same room again. Somebody asked, do we bring J.K. Dobbins back? For my money, yeah. You give him a minimum deal, bring him back. But yeah, to the room. Gotta have better. Look, I like McLaughlin's a fun enough story. McLaughlin ain't it. Bidet isn't it. You know, Harvey's got something in him, but I think he's more a role player than the star they really want him to be. You need one stud running back. You need J.K. Dobbins. You need Harvey. There's your group. So,
I thought watching that game, Super Bowl, that Walker, that I could see a little R.J. Harvey and Walker, except for the patience. Harvey sees that thing close. He just sprints outside and he gets tackled for a 3-yard loss. This guy would wait. He might break it outside, but he still let everything get condensed, and then he just go around the DN and get outside and pick up 7 yards. So I'm not willing. And Walker made some plays in the passing game too. And that's one thing where I think Harvey is really good at. I think he can make some big-time plays in the passing game. If he could just find some patience, I mean, I think Walker is 5'9", 215. Harvey is 5'8", 206. I mean, so they're really, or 211, something like that. I mean, they're really close in body type. And who knows? I mean, you know, it ain't like Walker's an old dude too. What's he, 3 years in the league? Something like that. He's still on a rookie contract.
well, yeah, that's wrapping up. We'll see what they choose to do. Remember, Seattle's got a lot of cap room because, surprise, surprise, when you draft well, you have a lot of cap room because you're not overpaying free agents.
$73 million.
Yeah. Because guess what? You draft the team that you wanted and then you played it.
And you didn't draft a quarterback, but you got a reclamation quarterback. They finally got some love playing in a system where they know how to take care of quarterbacks. And look what happens.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, with the classes the way they are, the quarterback class, especially this year, some reclamation projects may need to be more the way than drafting somebody.
But you know,
all right, let's wrap it up.
Hold on, you said something today about that. But they weren't super high on last year's draft class, or 2 years ago draft class either, and that's turned out okay, hasn't it?
Which one?
The one with Bo Nix in it.
No, they were all high on that one. They all love that one.
No,
yes, they all said it was the best. The reason why they said the Broncos had to force draft that was because they knew last year's class was going to suck. Last year's class was not great. You had two first-round quarterbacks.
The Bo Nix class, they said they had 2 first-rounders and everybody else were second and third-round grades.
No. Yep. People liked them.
Bo Nix was a second-round grade. Penix was a second-round grade. They liked the kid in Washington and the kid in Chicago.
That was Penix.
It was an iffy. Low first, maybe second. And all of a sudden, I don't know about this. I still don't think J.D. McCarthy's ever going to be anything. And I go back to that championship game that they won. He was absolutely horrible in that game.
Well, yeah, because they draft for, you know how it is. They draft for upside or what they think they can turn him into. So, all right, we got a lot of people fired up. All right, folks, we're going to do it again next Tuesday because Scotty's off next Tuesday, right?
I will be flying back from Grove, Oklahoma on Tuesday. I should get in about 1:30 in the afternoon. I want to
We'll do it at Tuesday at 9.
I'm going to babysit my 2-month-old grandson at 6 o'clock, 5:30, and then be ready to go at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. All right.
You're gonna debut your hat then too?
Yeah, I'll wear it. I got it sitting right there, but I'm gonna wear it on Twitch tomorrow and show you. Sharp cap. Boston Scally. Well, you know what's funny is I've seen more and more guys wearing these Boston Scally caps. And I think it's because of us. Nobody had them until you and I got them.
Look at this one.
Is that the Deadhead one?
Well, that's my Guinness.
Oh, okay. You got the Deadhead one too, don't you?
Yep, got it upstairs. And I got a Christmas one now too. But you know what I wore on the last road trip? I got about a year ago. quilted inside quilted black corduroy. So it goes with like I was wearing a black jacket, black corduroy, quilted inside. That sucker was warm. Simple.
I like it.
Here, hold on.
Well,
I got it. Here's my third one. Oh, heck, I do got it. Oh, I got my Christmas one right here. This is just my kind of fancy Dan one. Here's my Christmas one.
Well, there it is. There it is.
That's a good looking hat too, right there now.
By the way, I gotta answer this guy. He wants to know who I am. Bitch, I'm the voice of the Mammoth lacrosse talking. What's your deal? I'm the guy that played ball for 30 years. Why are you asking? Scotin? He was talking up lacrosse. I was proud of him.
What did he say? Who is what?
He's just saying who's Andy. He's not familiar with me.
I'm with you, Franco.
Yeah, we got a lot. What's Franco saying? And then we got somebody trying to start stuff by calling Jokic soft. All right.
Yeah, you don't watch much basketball or anything else.
Oh, that's funny. Shoot, he noticed the he noticed my sign. I ought to give him he ought to get Mammoth tickets for noticing the sign. I forgot. That's my busted up sign. Remember I told you I bought that sign?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to send it back to Israel, so my name's spelled wrong. And then instead of an H, I was like, the hell with it. I'm not sending it back to he called me pal too. You know what, Scotin? You can only call me pal if you're wearing one of those scally caps right there. That's the rule.
Lindahl.
No, he's got really good eyes. I didn't think anybody could still see that because it does. Yeah, it's Lindanl.
I remember the first time you looked at my phone and you looked up your name, and the first time I had your name in there spelled Lindahl or something like that.
Yeah, you had it switched around.
ALL or something like that. Or Lindahl, maybe I might have put like Lindahl Clark.
Hey, look, I'm a doll, not a hall. Anyway. All right, we've enjoyed you all, even the bots that are now trying to anger people that are Nuggets fans. And again, we'll see you next week, 9 o'clock. We'll have more fun. We're going to start having more fun on this thing, so get ready, folks. Buckle up.
Buckle up, butter.
Buckle up, pal. Buckle up. He called me pal and buddy. I like this guy. And now he wants to go to the party zone. All right. Good night, all. We love you.